we'd love to take your phone calls if you're somebody who's already cooking with the Ninja, but now that 3-in-1 system is a 4-in-1 system, and we'll take you through all of that. More colors than we've ever offered before, new recipes to go along with it too. Let me just tell you real quickly, over 24,000 of these have already been ordered today. We've sold out of one of our colors. So the colors that remain are the follows. We have the cinnamon, which is down here in the front. We have the white over to the side. Back behind it, we have your blue. It's that cobalt blue. Then we have your classic black. We have your green, which is a brand new color. It's kind of an olive green. And then we also have it for you in the eggplant, happens to be my favorite. In addition to your Ninja, you're also going to be getting a cookbook. This is a revised cookbook, 75 favorite recipes, and then 75 brand new recipes, including even more ideas for 30-minute meals, which I think is fantastic. So many of us want to put good food on the table, but we always say, but I just don't have the time. So the Ninja makes it easy for you to do that. And then you're also going to get your great insulated carrier so that when you're making these meals that you might want to take to a buffet or take to a family gathering, you have a way to take it and transport it too. As our today's special value, it's $129 and change, but we also have it available for you on 4 payments of $32.49. So I'm going to walk over and say hi to my friend Bob Warden, because Bob's going to take us through. This might look like just a slow cooker to you, but a Ninja actually can be your stovetop and work like an electric skillet. It can be your slow cooker, which I know you'll love to use as the cold weather months come into play. It can be like an oven, so you can bake things in it, and you can also steam in this as well. So really, it's all the versatility of many of your kitchen appliances, all in one, right on my countertop.
This is, Joe, where my mother always said, why don't they make a slow cooker that browns? So I don't have to do it separately on the stovetop, right? Why don't they do a steamer that browns, right? Well, what we've got is 4-in-1. So what we're going to do for everyone at home is we're going to take you through the 4-in-1 things that the cooker does. And we're going to start with really the revolutionary process that we created at Ninja, which is steam roasting. You said steam, roasting? Do those words go together, right? Well, so what we do is we use the skillet setting, which we're now using skillet high, to brown our meat. Now this could be a prime rib, it could be a chicken, it could be a turkey breast, it could be a pork roast. And we take it out, once it's browned all around, takes about 5 minutes. We set it on our steamer rack. Now if you look down inside of our cooker, you'll notice that it's just simmering away with that wonderful brown fond that's down there. We're going to add some more beef stock to that. Now that beef stock's going to become 3 things. First, it's going to become our steam. It's going to produce our steam to allow us to cook this much faster in a moist environment. Then it's going to be our conveyor of great flavors up into the meat, so we can add our herbs and spices, in this case garlic and thyme and rosemary. And then what's going to happen is it's going to become our gravy. As this steam roast, that's going to reduce as it boils down, and in the end we're going to be ready to actually make our gravy. So to convert this now from the stovetop to the oven, here's what we do.
Notice too, you've got the new glass lid, which is great. That was a customer request, one of the ways the Ninja just got better.
Okay, so here we are. Right now we're on the high skillet setting, which is what we browned the meat on. We just go 1 notch over and the oven comes on. It defaults to 350, we're going to turn it to 375. Now to set the time, we just push the timer button. We're going to set this for 55 minutes. And in 55 minutes, a roast that in your dry oven would probably take about an hour and a half to cook. Now what's the difference going to be? What's the goal? Well, in your dry oven, in a normal cooking process, whether it's chicken or roast beef or pork, you're going to lose about 40% of the weight. Shrinkage, right? When we
Flavor,
moisture. Too. All of that.
Right? Yeah.
So when we brown it first, where we lose no moisture, right? And then we steam roast it, we only lose about half as much moisture. So instead of losing about 40% of the body weight, we end up losing only about 20%. The result is we end up with a roast that even the well-done portions are so moist that it's almost hard to believe. Moister than people are used to from the medium rare section. So what we're going to do now, down in our pot, let's look inside, is we are going to take out the rosemary. And we're going to take out the other herbs. Normally I would take the time to smash that garlic and flavor it, but I'm going to leave the garlic in there for the presence of thyme. And then we're going to add to that some more stock. As you can see, it's already reduced to a fraction of what we started with. And this has a little bit of cornstarch in it. And that's what we're going to use for our thickening. Then we're going to go back and we're going to turn this from our oven setting. Remember, we turned it from skillet to oven. We're going to turn it back to skillet, all right, high, And now this is going to boil our gravy, and while the roast is resting and we're carving it, our gravy's being made in the same pot.
That's the key, in the same pot. The same device that browned the roast, that steam roasted the roast, is now allowing our gravy to cook. This is all you used. Not extra skillets, not extra appliances, not extra time. It's saving you time, it's saving you space, it's not heating up the whole house. You don't have 3 appliances going at one time. The Ninja allows you to do it all in one. And I guess the proof is in the slicing.
Right, now you notice this has the browning that we did in the skillet, right? But notice the sheen of moisture on there, right? Okay, so we're gonna take what would normally be a very dry outside piece, right? That's well done, or medium well at least. And then I want you to look at how much moisture is coming off a piece of meat that would normally be very dried
in 55 minutes.
In 55 minutes.
Wow.
So even the very well done pieces, and I'm going to give you a little one to taste here, are going to be very, very moist. And that's the goal of any cook, is to have a nice roast, tender, done, and moist, and not dried out.
From the first bite to the last.
From the first bite to the last. Yes, you may.
I know many may not think I'm a lady, but I try.
Oh, I know you're a lady, all right.
Delicious.
Isn't it wonderful?
It's delicious. It's tender, it's juicy. I can taste that infused flavor of the rosemary and just a little hint of that garlic. So you have something that's not dried out, you have something that's rich in flavor, and you have something that took you minutes to get ready, and the Ninja did the rest, which I think, as a busy working parent, and many of you are busy working parents, or you are just busy, or you just want to come home and have dinner done. The fact that this can perform the way that it does, giving me so many options for cooking, but the end result is always flavorful food, to me that is key. Right,
and the options come from the design. So if you look at this coming up here, you'll see that, first of all, we can heat from the bottom alone, right? And that's going to be our stovetop setting. That allows us to send heat up through the unit. It allows us, when you put it on the steam setting, to create steam. But it also heats from the side. So it's a triple induction fusion cooking. So we're cooking from the bottom and the side, or both the bottom and the side, depending what the recipe calls for.
And remember, you have 4 options here. So we showed you that skillet type setting, right? Then you can put it into your steam roast mode. You can, like an oven, you can put it to a slow cook mode. You can put it to just a steaming mode. I mean, the versatility here for so many recipes. And if you love the concept of this, remember, you're getting a cookbook that's been revised, 75 of the most popular Ninja recipes, and now 75 brand new recipes, so 150 total, including a whole chapter on 30-minute meals. For great things like chicken piccata are in that section. I mean, there's some really great recipes that you can make when you're pressed for time but want to put good, clean food on the table.
So our real emphasis when we did a survey of what people wanted in a cooker like this, and we did that, a national survey, is that we found that people wanted to be able to come home, put a meal on the table in 30 minutes without a lot of thinking ahead. So what we decided to do was to make a lot of meals that would come out of the pantry or out of the freezer. So now we take frozen items like frozen chicken breast, frozen pork chops, frozen meatballs.
And can I cook from frozen?
You can cook from frozen, which we're going to show you, and dry pasta. Right?
Great.
So in this case, we're going to take frozen meat raviolis, right?
Okay.
And you notice on the skillet setting, I've already softened and sauteed my onions. So now we're going to add our raviolis. We're going to add some mushrooms. And then we're going to add mushroom soup.
Okay.
Because this is a concentrated mushroom flavor already. Now, you say, well, wait a minute, there's not enough liquid in there. Normally I'd be making that pasta separately and boiling it, then I'd be adding it. So how does that work? Well, here's where the cookbook comes in. We spent hours on all of the recipes when we were doing this to determine, okay, how much liquid, this is chicken stock, do we need to add so at the end of 30 minutes, the frozen food is done, the pasta is cooked through al dente but not soggy, and the liquid, which you see here, is going to be reduced in that 30 minutes down to, come right over here, here's the magic, and there is our magic.
Now, how about that on a busy night when, you know, kids are coming and going from ball practice, homework, play rehearsal, dance recitals, you've got a parent-teacher conference, you've got a meeting, you got home late from work. How nice to know that you're 30 minutes away from this delicious ravioli with mushroom sauce that you could make in 30 minutes.
From frozen.
All right, from frozen.
Right.
This looks hot, so I'm gonna...
Well, be careful.
I will.
but it is so delicious. Now remember, we have over 50 recipes you can do that, and you'll quickly learn to adapt your own recipes to be able to cook from frozen and dry pasta.
Wow.
Yes, wow.
With like 4 ingredients.
Exactly.
4 ingredients
Put
to
it in
a
there.
wow.
Yeah.
Which I love. And you know what? You could adapt that. If you didn't want to do meat ravioli, you could do cheese ravioli. If you didn't want to do ravioli at all, you could do a thicker rigatoni pasta, right?
Now,
so, I mean, you could really diversify that.
One more thing.
Yes, tell me.
Guess what? Not everybody's family comes home and ready to eat at the same time. Not everybody at the game is ready to eat at the same time. So guess what? There's one more setting on here called warm.
Love
and
the
that's
warm.
the buffet setting. It sets at a perfect 158 degrees. That is the temperature recommended to keep food temperature safe.
That is delicious. You will love that recipe. I bet that will be a favorite for your, a favorite for your family this fall. Let's move on down here and remind you about colors. We brought you more colors today than we ever have before, many of them brand new, including the eggplant. I love that color. I mean, listen, even whether it matches your kitchen or not, I feel like in an appliance like this is where you can have some fun with color. You wanted the white, clean, sleek kitchen. Now you can pop a little color with it. So we have the eggplant, which is that gorgeous purple. The green, which is brand new. I would equate that to the color of an olive you put in your martini. Then we have your, not that I would know anything about that. Here is your black. Here's the blue down here at the end. That blue is also going to match your KitchenAid, your Vitamix, all those other blues that you might have in your kitchen, your Keurig. Here's your white, classic white, can never go wrong with that. And we also have it for you in the cinnamon. We include that steamer tray, we include the baking pan, we include the cookbook, and then of course also one of the things you wanted to know was, is there a way that I can transport my Ninja when I'm doing casseroles, when I'm doing desserts? And yes, now we have that thermal carrying bag too. You will not find this anywhere else. This is not available through ninja.com. It is only available here at QVC, and this is the only order of the year. So don't feel like, oh, you know what, I think I'm going to think about it, because if you come back and it's gone, it's gone. So this is the only opportunity you're going to have to get this for the year. And here's the breakdown. You can see that just the multi-cooker with the glass lid, which is another improvement to this, with the extra accessories, is $182. So already our value is saving you quite a bit of money. But then when you throw in the travel bag, that brings the total price to $196. We're at $129, and you have 4 easy payments as well. 24,600 have been ordered today. We also want to take you through real quickly, because I know we've covered a lot. We showed you different ways to use it, but here's really all of the features of the product.
So the 4-in-1 system has now the glass lid, where we had the metal lid before. Now you can see what's happening. It's 6-quart capacity. The inner 6-quart lifts out. The glass lid allows you to see what's happening inside throughout the cooking process. It has a non-stick surface that's dishwasher safe. Not only you just wipe it out, it comes with the 150 recipe books, 75 brand new recipes, lots of steamer recipes since we added that feature, and of course the thermal insulated travel bag.
Here's what I think's interesting. You know, we've sold a lot of Ninjas here at QVC, including 130,000 of this unit's predecessor in just the past year, Bob. What's amazing to me today is so many people are calling in and saying, I had the other one and I love it. I mean, the other version was customer top rated, but I'm getting this one because this one, I love being able to look in and seeing the food. I love that I can do 4 things with it instead of it being a 3-in-1, it's a 4-in-1. I love that I'm getting that thermal carrying bag. I love that you're giving me more new recipes. I think I'll pass on my old Ninja to someone else.
And you know what
or
else?
maybe I'll now have 2, right?
Or 3.
So that when entertaining time comes around, when the big turkey has taken more time in the oven than you expected and you can't get anything else done, now you have your Ninja. You know, a slow cooker, they're great, but they're only slow cookers. Electric skillets, oh my gosh, I grew up with an electric skillet. I mean, that's how my mom made tons of meals in electric skillets, but it's only an electric skillet. All those technologies that we love to make good food, all in one Ninja system. What else can we make,
All right,
Bob?
so we've done the first 2 of the 4-in-1. So
Yes.
now we're going to do slow cooking. But again, the difference is that we're going to do slow cooking after we've browned our meat. Right? So we use the stovetop setting to brown our meat here first. Then we also, before we did that, we actually separately just lightly sauteed our onions and our peppers. Our corn we did nothing to. Now we're going to add our stock.
Is this like a white bean chili?
This is a white bean chili and our chili powder. And then we're going to stir this all together. Now, remember, up till now, all we've done is we've used the skillet setting.
Yes.
So now we want to slow cook it. Now, this is going to be fast slow cooking because beans are already cooked.
Yes.
If these were raw beans, we'd be cooking for about 6 hours. But by using the cooked beans, right, now we have a little shortcut. So what we do is we come over here and we go from the stove top where we browned, right here, we come over to the slow cooker settings. Now, slow cooker has 2 settings, high and low. One defaults to 4 hours, one to 8. However, you can set the hours to anything you want.
Oh, great.
So I'm going to set this down to 30 minutes.
So if the recipe says slow cook for 10, you can do 10 hours.
Or if it says slow cook for 30 minutes, as in this case, I can slow cook it for 30 minutes. Now, when it's done, it will beep. That's another feature of the form.
So now you know when it's done.
It's beeped, it's done, and guess what? Then you turn it over to warm, and it becomes your buffet server. So you brown, you slow cook, and then you serve, all from one vessel, one dishwasher safe unit, one pot.
So easy to clean, 6-quart capacity, which we've found people say is the perfect size. You know, there are a lot of slow cookers out there that are smaller in size, but again, you're only slow cooking. Do you even really know the capacity of your electric skillet? And you can only use it as an electric skillet. Can you use your electric skillet as an oven? No, but you can with the Ninja. Can you use your slow cooker as a steamer? No, but you can with your Ninja. So what we're really trying to show you is one item, one purchase. You don't have to have all those other things. All you need is this.
Now you want a healthy chili to blow your socks off. Taste this. White meat, turkey, chili. That is so flavorful, so delicious, that took less than 5 minutes to prepare. You let it cook for 30 minutes and you have a whole meal ready to go on your family's
I could
table.
live on chili. It's one of my favorites.
Isn't it good?
Yeah, and I love finding all new variations.
And
is this recipe in the cookbook?
Oh, every recipe we're doing here is in the cookbook. They're also, they're up online for all the ones we're cooking here during our presentation.
Very good.
Now, do you notice, can you taste the extra intensity you get from the browning that takes place?
Oh, totally. Yeah, totally.
Great.
Otherwise, you know, the meat would be a little soggy, you know, and so being able to brown it.
Brown meat, it's like gray meat, right?
Right.
This way you get that extra crunch if you want it, and you get that extra flavor.
Well, I mean, it's a way for you to really personalize those recipes to prepare it exactly like you want. And I have to say, one of my biggest complaints oftentimes with slow cooker recipes is how many steps I have to do before I even put the food in the slow cooker. And a lot of that usually has to do with sauteing or cooking. And the reason I'm frustrated is I'm dirtying up the kitchen when I just wanted a one-pot meal. So the beauty of the Ninja is being able to do that step, that saute step, that frying step, that cooking step right inside this unit before I even flip it on over to slow cooker mode. I just think it makes it so much more simple. Stay on the line if you're dialing in. Now over 25,000 of these have been ordered today, 1,000 already in this show. We're very busy on the phones. We'd love to take your phone calls. In fact, we have a phone call, Bob. Can we jump there real quick?
Yes, absolutely.
Because Doris is joining us from North Carolina. Doris, hi, good evening.
Hi,
I'm
Doris.
Jill. This is Bob. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing real good. I'm real excited about getting this Ninja cooker.
Okay.
I'm like you just said a while ago, you know, I wanted to have a one-pot meal.
Yes.
And with the crock pot, you can't do that. You had to dirty up this and dirty up that and then put everything in there to cook.
Right.
And I'm excited about the other features, too. I watched it off and on all day, and finally I said, you're going to get this.
Oh, well, good.
Congratulations.
And you need that crock pot to put all that chili and soup and stuff in. So, yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Well, if you love slow cooking, you're going to love the Ninja. If you ever made food with an electric skillet, you're going to love the Ninja. If you do a lot of prep work on your stovetop with dishes, you're going to love the Ninja. And if you've always wished, wouldn't it be nice if I had double ovens so that I could bake things in two at a time? The nice thing about the Ninja, Doris, is that you can actually bake things in here too. Plus the steaming feature, which we're going to talk about again, just to give you another option on how to use it. So I think you'll be so pleased with it. There's a reason why it's been so popular with all of our customers, and lucky you get the upgraded, even better version.
Oh yeah, I'm really glad that I'm getting this one.
Good.
Like I said, I like a one-pot meal.
Yeah, well, good. Well, enjoy it. The cookbook has 150 recipes, so that should keep you full for a while.
Good deal, yeah.
All righty.
Okay.
Thanks for calling. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the fourth of the 4-in-1 is the steamer setting.
True steam, not steam roasting, just steaming.
Steamer. So now we turn this over to this far left to the steamer setting. It then allows you to set the time. So in this case, what we did is we do fish. Now this fish, because of the large volume of steam we'll do here, will probably can be done in about 6 minutes, depending on the thickness of it. It is really, really good.
So I don't have to buy a special poacher and put it in my oven. I'm just going to steam it right here in my Ninja.
You're
Love
just going
that.
to steam it right there. And again, you can make a sauce. Now a lot of the ways that people like to serve fish these days is to take a sauce, right, that becomes a liquid that you can sort of taste your fish in along with the rice. So we can take that, we can put it right around our rice. It'll look like you're in a 5-star restaurant in New York City, and then you put your fish right on top of that with a beautiful garnish. You've already infused it with a nice orange flavor, and you have a really great dish.
Love it. I'm looking over here too because this looks like really good comfort food. Because when I think of a multi-cooker, which is really, let's just say, that's really what the Ninja is. It's a multi-cooker. It cooks your food in a multiple of ways depending on what you need or what your recipe is. But fall, comfort food, the holidays, cold weather, you want something warm and cozy where that first bite just warms you all the way down to the tips of your toes. It looks to me like this could be some kind of a chicken and dumpling dish.
It is. One of my favorite dish that we used to do at my grade school cafeteria was chicken and dumplings. And I always, you know, begged to go back. I do extra favors, whatever I had to do to go back for extras. So what this does, again, we've used this to the full extent. We started by browning chicken in the bottom. Then we browned all of our aromatics, like our onions and garlic and so forth. Then we added our liquid and we cooked it. And this took, I think, an hour. Then when that was done, then we added our dumplings and put it on top. We put it on the oven setting, and then we actually baked the dumplings. So we went from skillet, right, to slow cook, to oven, all to make this recipe with just the 2 changes of the dial.
Wow. Look how hearty. Oh, how good that's going to taste.
Are you only going to look?
Well, I'm going to taste. I mean, look at this.
It is so good.
And simple, right?
This is what I ate for my lunch today. Then I had turkey chili for my afternoon snack. Not sure what I'm going to have for dinner.
You should have a bowl of this.
Oh, I think I will.
It's so good.
Don't take this away. Andrea, save me a bowl of the chicken and dumplings.
Delicious. Easy food, the way you want to prepare it. You want to let it cook all day long so that dinner's ready when you get home. It can be that. You're somebody who likes to get home and make dinner, but one night you're running late. You can still have dinner on the table in 30 minutes with some of the great recipes. Maybe you're somebody who just really doesn't have that large of a kitchen, so the ability to not crowd your stovetop, but just simply work on your counter with just this item is fantastic. I mean, for people who are downsizing, for people who have small apartments, efficiency apartments, this is a dream come true because you can do so many things in it. We're going to even show you how you can bake desserts coming up. So, you know, think about that. Can you do that in anything else that you have with the exception of your big old oven? No, but you can do it in the Ninja. It's our today's special value. It's our only order of the year. They have been so popular on QVC, quite frankly, we didn't need to upgrade anything. They've been that good, that popular, and that highly reviewed. But we really listen to your comments. I love it, but I wish. I love it if only it had. And based on those comments, we put them in for you. You wanted a clear glass, tempered glass lid, you got it. It's now in there. You wanted new color options, we gave you new color options. You wanted more recipe ideas, including more 30-minute meals. Not only do you have 75 of the top Ninja recipes in your book, but 75 brand new recipes that you've never had before. You wanted to be able to take this to tailgates, to church buffets, to parties. Now you have a way to transport it. You wanted it to be easy to clean. That insert is dishwasher safe. But the key really is you wanted to be able to have one appliance that did the work of many. And that's what this today's special value does. It steams, it cooks, it roasts, it slow cooks, it sears, it browns, it does bakes. It does all of those things. Again, just the cooker itself would be $182. We also include the travel bag, so all told, it's a $196 value, but you can see our price is far less than that, along with 4 payments of Easy Pay. Just one more thing to throw out there. Sure, you're thinking about holiday cooking, but what a great gift this could be for somebody who's getting ready to get married. Fall is a big time for weddings. For somebody who, you know, is going to be entertaining this year for the first year, having Thanksgiving or Christmas at their home. as a gift for the holidays, for your son and daughter-in-law, for your granddaughter who just got her first apartment. This would be a great gift. But remember, there's no other order of this coming in. It's not scheduled to be a Today Special Value again before the end of the year. So today is the day with that great price.
So there's two other classifications of people that you didn't mention. One is students that have these small little rooms that don't maybe have a stove.
Right.
This becomes their whole kitchen. You know where else? We found out from our friend that has the Ninja Facebook page.
Yes.
Truckers.
Really?
Truckers have the ability with the inverters to plug into 110, and they are cooking and carrying it in their truckers as they drive across country.
Is that something? Well, I mean, people who are doing RVs and stuff too, right? You know, I mean, those of you who do that kind of traveling and camping, how brilliant would it be for you to have a Ninja, because you could do so many different types of meals. All right, we're going to brown a chicken here.
Yeah, so we're going to go back and one more time cover the first of the 4-in-1, which is steam roasting. Now, the difference between steam roasting and roasting in the old-fashioned dry oven is that we actually brown first. You can choose, you could brown afterwards if you want to. I like to have it looking pretty the whole cooking process. So what I've done is I've set this on the skillet setting, and you can hear it just sizzling down there, right?
Yeah.
So I've actually browned it on all sides to begin with. And then down inside we have the beautiful fond from the browning of that chicken. So we're going to add some chicken stock. Now this chicken stock does 3 jobs. First, it's going to become the steam that steam roasts this in a moist environment instead of the dry oven.
Yeah.
Second, it's going to be the vehicle, the steam, by which we carry the flavor into the chicken. In this case, garlic, rosemary, and thyme. And then we simply take the chicken on the rack that comes with it. We put it inside. Now all we have to do is convert this now from a skillet to an oven. Let me show you how hard that is. We just come around here. Here we're on skillet, right?
Okay.
So just take a quarter of a turn and we're on the oven, which defaults to 350. Set it to 375. Set the timer to 55 minutes. And 55 minutes from now, that 5.5-pound chicken is done, and through the magic of television, that time has already gone by.
Think about this too. You know, if you're somebody who does a large turkey for Thanksgiving, but there's never enough white meat and you'd love to do a second smaller turkey breast, wouldn't it be so great to be able to do that smaller turkey breast right here in your Ninja? How about making up your mashed potatoes earlier in the day, putting them in your Ninja, and knowing that you could just go ahead and turn it on to warm, and that's where you can serve the mashed potatoes. So again, you already have all the mashing done. You just heat it up later on in the day on the warm feature, and now you've got a big, huge vessel to serve your mashed potatoes.
And of course, you can make the mashed potatoes in here.
Yeah.
What I do, you actually have 3 ways to make the mashed potatoes. You can bake them, you can steam them, and you can boil them. I prefer steaming them.
Yeah,
I find that's the best. I like the red potatoes with the skins on. Now you notice here, this now is going to become what was our steaming liquid. Our infusion liquid to put flavor has now become our gravy as soon as we add a little more stock with some cornstarch. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch this now from our oven. We're going to do that hard work of going from oven to back to skillet. Boop. That was easy enough, wasn't it?
Love it.
Now that's going to be boiling in a little bit, and we're going to have our chicken gravy all ready to go.
Love that. We're going to go back to our phones. Christine is calling in from California. Hi, Christine. It's Jill and Bob. How are you?
Hi, Christina.
Hi, Jill and Bob. How are you today?
We're doing great.
Are you excited about getting a Ninja, Christine? Do you know anything about it?
I can't wait. I can't wait. I've been watching you guys show this for so many airings, and I just couldn't stand it anymore. I had to get it.
Oh, well, good. What kinds of things would you like to prepare? How will this help you in the kitchen?
Probably I would like to try the roasts, and I'd like to make meatloaf and casseroles.
Yes.
Probably just about anything I would make, you know, in so many different settings, like, you know, appliances. Now I can do it just in one, and I'm by myself, so this should be really easy.
Oh,
yeah,
Christina,
terrific.
you are going to love it.
Yeah, could you go through the oven temperature and setting thing for me one more time?
Right here.
Sure.
So I've got it back on the skillet to make our gravy, but I'll go back to the oven for you. Notice it defaults to 350 degrees.
So what's the lowest and the highest I can go in that oven mode, Bob?
450. And then you can go to 425 and you can go down to 250, okay? So in this case, most of our recipes call for 350 or 375. Then to set the timer, you just push this. And that switches from the temperature to the time mode. And then you can set whatever time you want. And then it will beep when it's done.
Okay, now you said push this. Is that
That little white bar.
The chicken's in the way. I can't quite see it.
That little white bar right here, that just toggles. It's a toggle switch that toggles back and forth between oven setting and timer setting.
Oh, okay.
So you can always look at how much time is left or what the temperature inside is.
Oh, okay. So on the timer side, you just push that side, and on the oven temperature, it's
right. This little dial allows you to change the time or the temperature.
Oh, okay. That's easy
Pretty
enough.
Simple.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine, Christine.
Well, yahoo! I can't wait.
Well, good. Which color did you choose?
I got white.
The white. Very good. Well, hope you enjoy it. You have that recipe book that'll also give you some great new ideas on how to use it, and we're so glad you called. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So now we've cooked our chicken faster, but more important, we've cooked it with more moisture left inside because we didn't cook it in a dry oven where all that moisture can escape. If you look here and you see all of that moisture that's inside of there, in that thigh, which often can get, overcooked while you're waiting for that breast to get done. So I want you to just take a taste of the thigh, then I'm going to cut off a piece of the breast meat for you too, and notice how they're both super moist because of the steam cooking environment.
And again, it's done perfectly. As you can see there as we're slicing through there, it's cooked all the way through, but that doesn't mean it's going to be dried out, which I think is important to point out. Delicious, flavorful chicken.
And our gravy's almost done.
Is there anything better than roast chicken? I just love roast chicken. It's one of my favorite things. It's so easy. It's inexpensive. Love it.
And so our gravy, of course, has really great flavor. Let me just, it isn't thickened up yet, but just give you a taste of that gravy.
The rosemary can really taste those aromatics.
And the garlic.
Delicious. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right.
All righty. We're moving on down the line here. If you're dialing in, stay on the line. Several thousand of you have already dialed in just in this presentation for our today's special value. It's a 6-quart capacity. You can brown in this, so you're not browning things in a skillet and then putting it in here if you wanted to slow cook. You can brown it in here. You can use this as an actual skillet. I mean, if this is what you want to use to fry up bacon in the morning, you can do that. This is what you want to do to do scrambled eggs, you can do that. Non-stick interior, really easy to clean, dishwasher safe. 6-quart capacity. Now you have the clear glass lid. That's an upgrade or an improvement based on your requests. You can steam in this, so whether it's steaming vegetables or steaming fish, you can steam roast as we've been showing you with the chicken and the roast. Brown it first, add your liquid, let that liquid help to infuse flavor while it's cooking. You can slow cook in this, and what are we doing here?
Well, remember I said over 50 meals are one-pot meals, right? Where we're using dry pasta or frozen or a combination of both. Well, in this case, we used dry ziti, right? We added just the right amount of sauce and liquid, and this is what I called our ziti taco pasta.
Ooh,
so this is a one-pot meal where we browned the meat. You see the brown meat there in the bottom? So we used the skillet setting to brown the meat. Then we added all of our other ingredients. By the way, we also sauteed the onions and garlic that are in here, right? And now we have, in 30 minutes or less, perfectly cooked pasta, perfectly browned meat, perfectly assembled flavors that have just been infused throughout it. And basically, once you brown the meat, you just threw everything in and walked away, and now it's done.
That's something your kids will love. Families will love this.
Family
that is
favorite.
Such an easy meal. Pasta with meat and sauce with a little bit of that Mexican, spice blend. Really, really good. Delicious.
Yep, 30 minutes or
Love
less. Dry pasta.
I mentioned earlier desserts. We're going to get there anytime soon?
Let's just skip over the dessert. You don't really, no. Here, the one
I
thing.
believe in dessert first, Bob.
The one thing we haven't cooked is steam baking. So now we have the steam setting on here, right?
Yes.
Now, why would I steam bake rather than dry bake, Jill, do you think?
Well, you want to keep moisture, especially in like cakes and things like that tend to dry out or crumble.
Do you know why so many recipes for cakes and so forth have so much oil in them?
To keep the moisture.
To keep the moisture.
Right.
So we actually recommend that if you're following a box cake mix recipe, for instance, that you use half the oil.
Okay.
If you have a bread pudding that's your favorite bread pudding, use about half of the oil because we have replaced that with moisture that's not baked away in a dry oven.
Bread pudding.
Yeah, thank you. I need that spoon. Here you go, honey.
I don't think so.
No, I actually had this for my dessert this afternoon.
What is this, like a s'mores bread pudding?
It's a s'mores bread pudding, and the more you eat it, the more you want. Isn't that wonderful? I hate bread pudding that dries out. This is the way the professional restaurants do it in a steam oven.
Oh, wow. That was too bite-worthy.
Oh, it's more than that
That's
word.
good.
I love that bread pudding. And any bread pudding you do in there, you're going to get the similar results.
Do I have to bake in the baking pan? Could I have just put the whole recipe inside the unit itself?
But then you're going to be dry baking.
You're dry. Got it.
Right.
Got it. So did you put a liquid or something underneath
just water.
there? Just water.
Right, just a cup of water.
So almost like the idea of the water bath when you're doing a cheesecake and stuff, right?
Yes, but you can just fill the whole cavity up. It's just that you're now dry baking.
You're dry baking again. Got it. So you have options. I love that idea. Again, if you feel like you make a recipe and it's always a little dry, try doing that steam baking and see if that doesn't make a huge difference. Here are the colors again for all of you. Just to review. 6-quart capacity, the ability to brown, the ability to sear, the ability to roast, to slow cook, to steam, to bake, all of those things. What you can do on your stovetop, you can do in the Ninja. What you can do in your oven, you can do in the Ninja. What you do in your electric skillet, you do in the Ninja. What you do in your slow cooker, you do in the Ninja. What you do in a steamer or a steamer basket, you're doing in the Ninja. So we're getting rid of all the extras and we're just taking it down to one that really many would argue does it better than any of those individually anyway. This is the blue, here is the white, here is your black, here is the cinnamon, up here is the green, a brand new color, here is your eggplant. We include a recipe book with 150 recipes, 75 of them brand new. We include the thermal carrier so that if you're making something for a crowd, for tailgates, for the holidays, you can bring your Ninja with you. We give you the steamer basket, we give you the baking piece as well. By the way, that 6-quart insert is also dishwasher safe, so that's something that's really easy to clean. It's non-stick. Things aren't going to be like clinging to it. 26,000 of these have been ordered today, over 2,200 already in this program. Real quickly, we're going to run back to our phones. April's calling in from Indiana. Hi, April. How are you? April, are you there? April. Oh, we lost her. All right, so let's move on to our next dish.
So you were talking earlier about when holidays come and you run out of oven room, right? Well, I actually, of course, have 4 of these. So I do my extra turkey breast. I'm going to show you how we do that in a second. I do the mashed potatoes. I cook the potatoes in here. I mash them and then serve them from here.
Love that.
I typically like to do green beans or a green bean casserole, which I can do green beans with steam.
And then this.
And then this is our apple crisp. So my guests can come along, serve themselves from the Ninja, including the gravy that we made. Right? And this is why so many professional caterers, wedding caterers and so forth, buy 4, 5, and 6 of these units. They line them up and everything they serve at their event is served in a Ninja and cooked in a Ninja. Instead
of having, you know, the chafing dish with the flame underneath with the weird blue gel and then that blows out, right? Here you have something that's just going to keep it nice and warm. You've cooked it in here, you're serving it in here, you're keeping it warm in here. So much more versatility than most other types of cookers.
So we've got our mashed potatoes, which we either baked or steamed in here, right? And now we're keeping warm in the buffet setting. Over here, we have what I like to do. I find that 2 turkeys is too much for my size family.
Yes.
1 turkey is not enough.
Not enough.
So I buy a 9-pound turkey breast. I brown it just like we did our roast and our turkey, and we put that right in the cooker.
Love it.
And of course, this now is going to become our gravy. We're going to set that up right next to our mashed potatoes.
Okay.
Because we're going to have mashed potatoes and gravy. Right. And so again, I take out whatever aromatics I'm going to use. All I have to do to make the gravy, remember, is to pour in some more stock with our cornstarch mixture in there. And then we're going to be able to turn it back to the skillet setting on high. Right here we go, boom.
So for your skillet setting, do you have low and high?
Have low and high, but you want to use high for your gravy. Once it's done, don't turn it to low, turn it to warm.
To warm.
And then people can come and help themselves to the gravy.
The oven setting, you go from 250 to 425.
Correct.
Your slow cooker mode gives you a high, which is automatically defaults to 4 hours, a low, which automatically defaults to 8 hours. But if you need to adjust the time, you can supersede that by the time function. Again, we showed you that button. We're talking about moisture. We're talking about flavor. We're talking about never being the house that has the dried turkey again, because now you're doing it in your Ninja. Look at that.
Can you pick that up on the camera? This is white meat, perfectly cooked. This would normally in a dry oven be totally dried out, but look at that. It's just full of moisture. Just look at that.
Love
this is going to be the most moist white meat that you've ever eaten in your life. Same with your turkey, chicken, everything. When you steam roast, that steam is what keeps it moist. The skillet is what browns the meat, so you get that brown, crispy flavor that you love.
Let's go back to our phones. Kathy's joining us in Iowa. Hi, Kathy. It's Jill and Bob. How are you?
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, I'm doing fine.
Thanks for calling in. We're good, thank you. Are you from Iowa?
Yes, I am.
I was going to say, well, Kathy, you've got kindred spirits here.
What part of Iowa are you from, Kathy?
Right now I'm in Dubuque, but I was born and raised in Sioux City.
Well, you know, the product manager, the man in charge at Ninja of the Ninja 4-in-1 was born in Dubuque, Iowa.
You're a kid?
I was born in Charles City, Iowa.
Oh, I know where that's at.
Yeah, great. Well, tell us why you wanted a Ninja in your kitchen, Kathy.
Basically, I don't like to have to use the stovetop all the time. And in this, you can brown everything.
Yep.
You can cook your chickens in it. You can make your spaghetti in it.
Yeah.
I can make my spaghetti sauce from scratch. And the one main question, and we got kind of to the desserts, can you bake a cake in there in the loaf pan?
Yes. Did you see the bread pudding that we just did?
I saw the
So you
pudding.
can do it in a flat cake pan that comes with the unit. You can do it like in a meatloaf pan. You just set it onto the steamer rack if you're going to steam bake, or you can just set it in there if you're going to dry bake.
Yeah, so I can dry bake a cake in there.
Yes. Yes,
Whatever
as
you'd like.
long as the size pan you're using fits inside the Ninja, then it will work just fine, whether it's a cake mix or it's from scratch. Like a quick bread or something, you could do a pumpkin bread or a banana bread or whatever. But think about using that steam idea, especially with some of those breads, because that really will help keep the moisture in.
Yeah, I do, but my husband, we don't use a lot of the bread pudding. We use like more banana breads and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's wonderful for banana breads.
Yeah,
I don't want to have to reach down into my oven because I'm getting older and I
Right.
to burn myself a lot, you
Yeah,
know. And we don't.
sure.
It's the two of us, so a loaf pan or whatever fits in there, and it's great value. In fact, I looked at the one online before, the older one, the older version, and it's higher than this one. And I thought, well, can I do the same things in the old one? I didn't know which one to order. Order the new one, but if I can do everything in the new one that the old one has, I might as well get this.
Absolutely, you can
The
do everything, and the
new one,
more.
Kathy, really is better. The new one has more features. The new one was really designed after customers who loved the old version said, I love it, or I love it, but I only wish it had. And so we really listened to those asks and took everything that people loved about the original and then took what they wished it also had, and that's how this unit was built. So I think you made the right choice.
Oh, I'm certainly. I've never gone wrong with QVC. I've been a customer for years.
Well, thank you, Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you.
I really do. I enjoy everything, about you, Jill, and the gentleman with you. And I hope more people take advantage of this because it really is great. You know, even if you have like a large family. My daughter has 4 kids, so she's, I'm going to get. She's getting one, and I'm getting one. So
Good, great.
It'll work for families. It'll work for people just have 2 left in the home. So.
Absolutely. Well, happy eating because you have some good food coming your way.
Oh, I am. And thank you so much for your help. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Well, she had a good question about the difference between the 3-in-1 and the 4-in-1.
Yeah.
What we found is that the 3-in-1, except for the glass lid and the carrier, does the same thing as the 4-in-1. However, it didn't have a steam setting. You either had to decide, well, I want an oven, what temperature should I put it on to make it steam, or should I use the skillet?
Right.
So by having a steam setting, all you have to do now is turn it over here to the steam setting, and then it's going to ask you how long do you want to cook it. That's a little flashing. It said, hello, how long do you want to cook it? So let's say we want to do these green beans. Well, that's going to take 6 minutes, okay? So it's going to heat up. As soon as it comes to steam, it's going to beep. So the first beep tells you, I'm getting started, I'm getting started. Then it's going to beep as it starts to steam, and then it's going to beep when it's done.
I love that because you can kind of keep track of where everything is, too, while you're trying to prepare other
just
things.
sort of right there. So now you've got we cooked the turkey, the extra turkey, the gravy, the mashed potatoes, the green beans, and then, I know, dessert. For you.
Listen, at least I don't try to hide it, right? I love my dessert. And this is an apple crisp.
So now this is a case where we actually...
You did like a dry bake.
We did a dry bake, right? Because we knew there was plenty of moisture in the apples.
But you could saute your apples and everything
We sauteed the apples,
right?
and we actually wanted to cook off a little bit of the apple so it wasn't runny, right?
Yeah, right.
So in this case, the recipe calls to dry bake, and that way you get this nice crispy top on it too. Now, you don't even need the ice cream for this. It's so delicious. Okay. Now, it's hot, so be careful.
All right. Ooh, just tender. My spoon
just kind of fell through there, didn't it?
Yes.
That's a hot.
But not soggy.
Not soggy.
Look at Bob warning me.
Is that good? Now get a little bit of the crunch that comes from the top. Now you can also put that crunch on the bottom if you want to. You line the layer with the bottom. We do upside down mac and cheese, upside down au gratin potatoes.
That's delicious.
Right? And so you can put a crispy on the bottom because of the skillet.
All those apples from those apple picking trips you're taking with your kids and your grandkids, what an easy, quick recipe to come home and make.
Isn't that great? Mm-hmm. You love your Ninja, don't you?
I love the Ninja. I'm busy.
Your mom.
You know, I'm a mom. I have different hours every day. There are days where, you know, I'm leaving in the morning and nobody's home until the kids get home, then my husband gets home. Hopefully I'm in there somewhere. Dinner's ready. So I love that slow cooker mode. I like to make fresh homemade food for my family. I don't like to rely on fast food. I don't like to buy the things that are totally processed. Sometimes I have to, we all do. But if I can make it from scratch and now I have a faster way to do it, that's better for our health. That's better for the family. It encourages us to sit down and have dinner together. Better for the budget. So I also love to have space. Anything that multitasks, I love. My makeup, I love to be multitaskers. Give me one product that does it all. My kitchen, I love things that multitask.
That's why you like your husband.
I don't have to. He's a multitasker. But I love having one item, just one, that does the work of 4 or 5. I'm not cluttering up my countertop. I'm not cluttering up my cabinets. I need to slow cook. I have the Ninja. I want to cook stuff on the stovetop, but I don't feel like pulling out all the stuff. Oh, I've got my Ninja. Ooh, let's steam something tonight. I've got my Ninja. It's hot out, but boy, I'd like some warm pumpkin bread. Let's do it in the Ninja. So I don't have to heat up the whole house.
Well, let's go do some more in the Ninja.
I can just do it in the Ninja. So let's go on down, show you the colors again. 27,000 of these ordered so far today, everybody. Eggplant and green, brand new colors. The green is like kind of a martini olive green. The eggplant, that beautiful purple. Here's your cinnamon down here in the front. We have classic black. We have white. If you have a white kitchen, I'd go for the white. And then we also have that great blue. You're getting a cookbook. It has 150 recipes. 75 of those are brand new, including a whole chapter for 30-minute meals. So for those of you who you're always pushing the clock. You want to get home, you want to make something, and you want to make it good and quick, you can do that in your Ninja. If you want to experiment with recipes, I also love that you can experiment with this whole concept of steam roasting or steam baking, Bob, with really very little room for failure. As long as you put your liquid in and put those items on top of the rack, the Ninja's going to do the rest for you, and you're going to have something that's delicious.
Absolutely. Now, here again, we've used the stove setting to brown our chicken thighs. So we browned those first. All right. Then we added our rice. Okay.
Like
and we then we
right?
put that's exactly what it is. Then we put the brown chicken thighs right on top, and then we used the slow cook setting. So remember, we brown on the skillet setting, which is right over here.
Right.
Right. Then we turned it to slow cook high, and this with the rice only took about 24 minutes. So we probably set it for about 30. Right? When it's done, it beat. Then we turned it one more notch over here to warm setting. And that warm setting will now keep this warm for as long as you want at 158 degrees, so it's the perfect safe temperature to keep things warm.
Love it. Over 3,000 of these have been ordered just in this presentation, 27,000 for the day. We're busy on the phones. Can't get this anywhere else. Compare it to what you might find out online. You won't find this model anywhere else. This is only available at QVC. More features, more upgrades, what you were asking for, the ability to now take the Ninja in that thermal carrier bag, more recipe concepts. And let's talk a little bit about sort of the whole reason why things are cooking so well, Bob, because we have some animation that sort of takes you through the whole cooking process.
Yeah, what happens with the Ninja is you have heat on the bottom. That's your stovetop setting when it's used alone. That sends heat up. It's what fuels our steam. Then we have heat on the side, and that side cooking is used in the oven setting and in the slow cook setting. So you're cooking a surround sound. Remember those old cookers I used to love that had their surround heat? Well, now we have surround heat and we have bottom heat. So we get to use it singly, together, whatever the recipe calls for. We have the perfect cooking vehicle with plenty of power to do it.
I love it. What else do you have to show us here?
Well, this pork dish, which is, I want to call it Caribbean or Indian because it's definitely like a curry, is we took pork and we browned it. Now, the criticism I have of pork, because I grew up on a pork farm in Iowa when pork had a lot of fat, and I liked the fat, and then we sort of bred the fat out. Well, what happens when you breed fat out of pork is it gets dry, right? So again, our goal with this new modern lean pork is to come up with recipes for pork where you slow cook it and it just falls apart. We browned it first on the stovetop setting. Now, this is one of the most delicious, I think you might want to use a spoon, recipes in the cookbook, and it's probably kind of a new experience for you, this taste.
Okay.
It's sort of a Caribbean Indian flavor.
Well, I love
the pork
Indian
just
food.
falls apart.
That's good.
Isn't that wonderful?
Is there a little lime in that?
Yep. Now, this is David's favorite dish.
Is that right?
All the things in the book. Well, of course, who'd have thought? Pork. Pork and David, isn't that what David means in some language?
Bacon, anyway.
It certainly
That's delicious. Again, almost kind of a little bit of a reminiscent of like a pozole, too, right? Really good. And something you can do in your Ninja. How long would something like that take if you're doing
this slow cooking, you have a choice. The fastest you'd want to cook it would be 4 hours.
Okay.
You know, what I ideally cook it in, I like when I'm going to really slow cook a tough piece of meat.
The
is
longer the better. Yep,
so
slow
8,
and low.
9, 10, slow and low, exactly.
Love that.
And you're going to get that fall apart goodness that you want.
And again, that's something where, I mean, you can do such simple recipes in your Ninja. Brown up a pork shoulder, brown it up, then add some barbecue sauce, a little bit of broth, put it on slow cook, and by the end of the day, you'll have the most delicious pulled pork. You can use this the way you would use an electric skillet and do a quick stir fry, right, Bob?
Exactly. It's wonderful for a stir fry. I use it for making my scrambled eggs in the morning. We did that a couple times this morning.
Well, especially if you're cooking for more than one person, you know, you can scramble those right up and then they stay nice and warm as people are coming down in the morning.
You can put 8 eggs in here at once. Use a plastic spatula to cut them and you have 8 eggs already cooked.
Nice.
You can put it on our steam rack and you can make soft-boiled, hard-boiled eggs in it. Set the timer. It'll cook it perfectly every time. So here now, we're frying up our sofrito or our mirepoix. So we're softening the onions, the garlic, the peppers, and then we're going to add our shrimp to that. We're going to have almost like a little shrimp stir fry, right?
Yep.
And this we're just using the skillet setting. But once this is done, once we've cooked up this shrimp, then we can put it on warm buffet setting. This is made for like 4 people. People can come, help themselves. When they're ready to eat, they're in business.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go off to our phones. I think it's Katie from Washington is calling in. Hi, Katie. It's Jill and Bob.
Hi, Katie.
Hi, Jill. Hi, Bob.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
We're good, thanks. Do you have a Ninja, or are you picking one up today?
I'm actually picking up a couple of them today.
Okay.
Wonderful.
And so why a couple?
One's going to be a gift for my brother who works nights, and one's going to be for my parents with my dad who also works nights.
Okay.
So that they can have hot meals in the mornings when they come home.
Oh, great idea.
So do you already have a Ninja?
No, we do not.
Well, what about you?
I don't have one, no. I live with my
You're
parents.
giving them all away?
You're getting one for everybody, but not for yourself.
You're a Ninja giver.
Yeah.
Well, why did you, so the idea of them working nights and coming home and having a hot meal, that's what you were thinking would really work well with their families?
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's
Great.
really, really wonderful of you. They're going to remember you for a long time. I hope every time you come over, they're cooking something for you.
Oh, yes.
Well, thanks so much for calling in, Katie. Hope it works well for everybody in the family.
Oh, I do too. Thank you.
Bye-bye. And you know, she
Bye-bye.
brought up something that we don't talk about. I often talk about how I can start it in the morning so it's ready at night. But for people who do work the night shift, how great to be able to start it when they leave for work, and when they come home and they're tired and before they need to go to bed, they have a homemade meal waiting for them.
One other thing we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
This is a wonderful cooker to cook dips and then keep them warm and serve them.
Yeah.
Now, you like broccoli?
I do.
No, I like broccoli, but I wouldn't thought of broccoli as a base for making a dip.
Okay.
But it is absolutely fabulous. So I want you to taste it and give me your verdict.
Like a broccoli cheese dip?
Like a broccoli cheese dip. Yep.
Okay.
Take a taste.
All right.
This
could be a soup.
This will really surprise you, I think.
Really?
Hopefully in the right way. Oh, we got a nice piece of broccoli there too. Isn't that wonderful?
It's really good.
Yeah, so we have all kinds of dip, whether you're doing artichoke dips, we have our famous game day dip. All of those can be done in here. And again, the secret is not only can you cook them in that pot, but now you're using that warm setting, that buffet setting, to keep them warm. People can come, take the lid off, help themselves to the dip, you know, throughout the day, or you can replenish bowls if you're serving it that way.
Love it.
So don't underestimate how much this is going to become your buffet server.
Well, I mean, I think it's just going to be your go-to. This is going to be the go-to that whether you're bringing family over, you're entertaining, you're going to somebody's house, it's just the two of you. You decided, you know what, turkey breasts are on sale. I think I'm going to cook one up for dinner, and then you can eat off of it for several nights after that, right?
Because we have all these frozen dishes.
Well, I also think too that people who live alone, or there's just the two of them, they can bake up a nice batch of lasagna in here, cut half of it in cut it in half, put it in the freezer. You know, you can cook ahead for other meals, which I think more and more people are doing. You cook big once, and then you can eat off of it at different times, and you can do that when you start preparing them in your Ninja. Remember, this is a 4-in-1, so this is your stovetop. This is like a skillet. This is like working on your oven. Instead of bringing out pots and pans and putting them on your burners, you have heat from below, and you're doing all those things right inside your Ninja. You can put this into your slow cooker mode. So now this is going to replace the slow cooker that you have to drag out here and there. It's a slow cooker too. You can steam in this, and it has a separate steam setting, and you can bake in this. So it's an oven, it's a steamer, it's a slow cooker, it's your stove top, all of those things. 6-quart capacity, non-stick interior, dishwasher safe so it's easy to clean. The upgrade of the clear looking lid. You have your baking pan, you have your roasting pan, you have your transporter, which is a thermal carrier, you have a cookbook to get you going with 150 recipes, 75 of them brand new. It's the time of year where casseroles, stews, soups, anything that's like such and such bake, pasta bake, taco bake, whatever it is, chicken and noodle bake. Those are the things that are sounding so good. But then when the holidays get here, it's the mashed potatoes and the green beans and the turkey breasts and all those things that you're going to be able to do in this Ninja 2. You will not find this anywhere else. It's our only order of the year. More features than ever before and great colors. We have the cinnamon, we have the white, the blue, the black, the brand new green, and then that brand new eggplant. If you're on the line for our Ninja Today's special value, do stay on the line. We've already sold out of one color today. We're closing in on almost 28,000 of these being ordered today, over 3,500 ordered just in this show. And a reminder about the great value that we have for you. I mean, the cooker is normally $182, and then the travel bag is extra. We've partnered with Ninja and been able to bring it to you at $129.96. Stay on the line. You can get more information by checking out QVC.com.